Good evening, everybody. Welcome to another edition of Rob's Little Blue Book. And tonight we are doing an Indian, hey Nick, kind of a street food classic, I guess, but it's also something that can be eaten pretty much any time of day. And it's a Masala Dosa. Hey, Carolyn. So I'll show you guys how to make it. This is the first time I have done this, and I want to talk a little bit about why. Like, why would I choose to do something I've never done before? But that's part of why I like doing the stream. I want to share my inspirations with you guys, and sometimes we're going to do something that I've done a million times before, and sometimes you're going to watch me learn how to do something. And this is one of those times. I was inspired by this to do this because I saw a YouTube video about the Dosa King of New York. Or there's a gentleman in New York who's been there for the better part of 20 years now, making dosas in, not Central Park, one of the parks. And a little dosa cart. People come from all over the world for his masala dosa. He invented a particular variant that they re-imported, exported back to India, and they make it there. But his philosophy for cooking was just great. He just loves cooking for people. He loves making people food. He likes seeing them happy. There were countless stories and anecdotes of other people talking about how great a person he was. You know, all of the, like, I forgot cash one day. He said, "Don't worry about it, fed me anyway." He feeds people who need feeding. Just a lovely gentleman. And definitely check out the video. I can put a link up in here. No, I'm just kidding. I wish I knew how to do that. You'll have to find it yourself. It's not hard to find. So we have a lot of ground to cover. And so let's get started. So we're going to do a couple things here tonight. Let me just share the screen here. And I'm trying to figure out the order. As I said, this is first time for me. We are definitely, so gunpowder dosa. Dosa is like a battered, it's almost like a pancake or roti. And the batter is made out of, I'll show you the batter actually, is rice and dal. And it's a fermented batter, which means I started this yesterday. It fermented overnight. And first time I've done this, it's supposed to be quite liquidy. And I got to tell you, when I got home from this fantastic lunch today, which coincidentally was Indian food, actually some of the best Indian food I've ever had in a restaurant. And this batter was way too thin, and I was worried because it's not something I can create on the spot. But a colleague of mine, Sadness, suggested that I could add plain yogurt to it to thicken it if it was too thin. But when I got home, it was really thin. But then, just before stream, I really like the consistency. So I hope we're good. I think we're good. We'll find out. We may make a few dosas before we get it right. So dosa is, like most Indian food, normally eaten with some kind of chutney. This one we normally serve maybe with a pickle. I'm going to do a coconut chutney because I've never made that before. I would normally, I like mango chutney is my favorite, but I'm going to try coconut tonight, or sambar or something like that. I'm just doing the one thing. Normally, well, I don't know about normal or not. I've seen this served with like 2 or 3 different little chutneys, but I'm just doing one because I only have so much time. And then the other thing we're going to do is we're going to make another condiment called, it's a spice blend called gunpowder. It has an Indian name, and I think it's Malagapodi. I'm butchering the pronunciation. I even tried to look it up on YouTube on how to pronounce it, couldn't find it out satisfactorily. I'm going to call it gunpowder because in English that's a much cooler term, which is a hot spice blend. And the nice thing about gunpowder is not only are we going to use it as a condiment here on the dosa, you can kind of make like an instant chutney with it just by mixing the powder with oil. So first things first is we're going to do the gunpowder first, because one of the things we have to do for that is fry up or roast some dal. And that takes a few minutes. So let's get that going. And we're going to steal some of that roasted dal for the chutney. So let's get some heat going. So in terms of dals tonight, I saw various different dals suggested. I settled on 2 relatively simple ones. This is chana dal and urad dal. There were all kinds of other dals suggested. I'm not super familiar with all the different dal. I mean, these 2 I know. Some of the other ones, never even heard of them before. I decided to stick with tried and true. Your mileage may vary. So, right, Paul C. I'll bring you some of this gunpowder next time, right? Okay, so the Chana dal takes the longest to roast. It is, oh, my time moved. It's 7:15. So at 7:15, we're going to add the urad dal. And the other thing we're going to put in is, which is apparently very optional, but I like the idea of it for flavor, is a little bit of basmati rice. So that's going to go in as well. What else can we do in the meantime? Any questions so far? I'm just going to like blitz this up in the mini chop. The coconut, we can go over the ingredients. Let's go over the ingredients for the chutney. It's going to be some coconut here. I'm going to do I'm going to add a little cilantro. That would be optional as well, but I like that, and I like the color. We're going to use some green chilies. You can use whatever green chilies you want, really. You could use serranos, the generic little finger chilies. These happen to be shishito chilies, which I had in the fridge, but they're quite good. We're going to do a little bit of cumin seeds going to go in there. A little bit of ginger, which I can actually prep. I got to prep some ginger. Let's do that while this is toasting up. And so ginger, I don't know if we've done this a million times, guys, but for peeling ginger, there's two ways to do it. You can use like a fancy, it's not that fancy, peeler. If you don't have a peeler, spoon works great too. You can just take the skin off of the spoon. I'm going to use the peeler because it's just easier for right now. But so we don't need a lot of ginger for this, but I do need a fair bit of ginger for something else. So let's get this out of the way. It smells good. I wish you guys could. There's one thing I always continually wish about YouTube is a way to just transfer the smell. It's such an important sense, you know, when you're cooking. And I want, like, I don't know, I'm just gonna chop a bunch of ginger here. Put it this way too. You could also just run this over a box grater, however you want to do it. I don't know. I kind of like my ginger like a little chunky, like a small dice. So I'm just going to do that tonight. Okay, that's plenty of ginger for everything we need to do tonight. The dal is not cooked. Whoa! Thank you for reminding me. No, the dal is not cooked yet. This is just gets ground up. I mean, I'm going to roast it slightly. A little more than slightly at the moment. Okay, I'm going to turn that way down. As always, we're kind of like doing the accelerated version of everything here. That should really take about 10 minutes, but certainly not going to now. It's quite toasted. That's fine. How much time do we get a looking at? You know what? I'm going to invest in a kitchen timer, I think, where I can look. Yeah, lower heat is definitely better. Still going to be okay. Smells incredible. Okay. What other prep can we do here? We need some, where'd my coriander go? We're going to need some coriander and, actually, there's not really much to prep in coriander because I want to leave the leaves more or less whole. So let's just throw this in a bowl for later. There's our coriander. We can talk about, what can we talk about? We can talk about the dosa pan. No, it's not actually a dosa pan. So a dosa pan is this, a tawa it's called. This is, a really good tawa should be cast iron. That would be certainly traditional. And so I'm kind of like hedging my bets a bit here. This is a non-stick tawa because, well, first of all, I'm going to use it for pancakes and other stuff too. But it looks like it's enough of a challenge. It's like, dosa is like a crepe, so I thought one challenge at a time. Let me just get a dosa on a non-stick thing and we'll go from there. So that's that. What else do we need to do? We can cut up a chili for the chutney, maybe. Let's do that. Let's get a couple of chilies cut up here. We can also discuss, we can also talk about next week. I'm open to requests. I gotta say, I was inspired by today's lunch to get back to more Indian cooking. I used to do a fair bit, but I feel like also I've only kind of dabbled. I really haven't given it a huge shot. So I'd be interested in doing that. If you guys want to see some more Indian cooking, let me know. Okay. Don't need you guys. Let's just move you into here. Okay, this, I don't know, it says 10 minutes, maybe this smells done to me. It's getting quite dark now. Okay. So let's add the, so also to this we're going to add the urad dal, which doesn't need quite as long, and the rice. And we're just going to toast all that up. Maybe another 5 minutes, I think. I'll just get this going. Looking over my prep list here. Somebody remind me to grab 2 tablespoons of that mixture out for the coconut. Oh, you know what? I should have put the rice in for that. Oh well. It's fine. Gonna have an interesting flavor for our coconut chutney too. I want to do the gunpowder first, because that'll save me cleaning up the mini chop. And you can call it lazy, but I think it's being efficient. So we can go over some of the other ingredients we have here tonight. For the so if the dosa has a filling, a potato aloo. So we got some cumin seed for that. Mustard seed's going to feature. I'm going to do add a little cashews. This is fenugreek seed, which will go in. What am I using fenugreek seed in? I don't know. There's a pinch of this in something. Oh, this is going to go in the gunpowder. I'm just going to put that in now while I'm thinking about it. You don't want a lot. It's a very, very strong flavor, and I have overdone it in the past. So let's just toast that up. Of course, I won't toast it. It's hard to tell this burner. Okay, we're going to go a little bit higher in the heat there. Also, ingredients. Potato aloo needs potatoes, and gotta figure out a way to cook those actually. What am I going to do those in? Probably just this pan here and some water. Okay, while we're waiting for that, let's get the potatoes prepped. Give them a quick peel here. These are Yukon Gold potatoes. It may or may not be necessary to peel them, but I'm going to peel them tonight for a little bit cleaner look. Any questions? I feel like we're just cruising through. Of course, I probably haven't shown you guys enough to even have relevant questions yet. So I'm gonna actually dice these potatoes, or actually cut them pretty small for cooking. Not only for speed, because I want them to cook quickly, but also because it's actually okay if your potatoes get kind of like soggy a little bit. because we want that starch. We want them to absorb a little bit of water and release a little more of their starch than normal because they'll soak up the spices. So it's almost going to be like a mash. So I'm just going to dice these guys up. Almost done with that. Back to the steak. And again, this is just a rough dice because these will get like, you'll see when we do it, they get like semi-mashed. That's good. Okay. Oh God, Paul, that's horrible. I'm going to talk more about the batter, yes. Let me just get this out of the way. Okay, I feel like that's been enough time for that. We have to actually do the chilies next. These can go in a bowl. Cool down. Okay, so the other thing we have to do here is toast some chilies. Hopefully that isn't too toxic down here tonight. This part's gonna be fun. How do I want to do this? Well, here we go. We're just gonna go for it. So the chilies we're using for the spice is these are Kashmiri red chilies. You can use probably any red chili you like here. I wanted to have these in the house anyway, so I ordered a big box of them. It's quite a nice chili to have on hand. We're just going to give them a little bit of a toast. We don't want them black or anything like that. But as you all know, like toasting the chili helps release some of the pungent flavor aspects of it. If you guys remember, the time I basically, actually, Paul, they're already cut off. They came that way. So normally I would, but in this case, what you're seeing there is not the top of the chili. You're seeing like the cut inside. Oh, it's hot. Okay. Hey, Penny. Yeah, I'm being very careful this time. That last time was quite something. This is, oh wow, these are blackening up beautifully already. Okay. I kind of feel like those are done. Wow, fast. Okay. Let's get those out. And let's get the potatoes going. Actually, you know what? Nah, that's fine. Okay, slight change of plan here. I'm going to mute the mic for just 1 sec. Sorry, I was calling upstairs for a pot because I just realized I don't want to boil the potatoes in that. Okay, let's get this gunpowder finished. I want to add a little bit of salt, so we're going to blitz it up in the mini chop, which I'm going to have to do over here out of sight. Let me show you the mini chop. Can you guys see it? This is my little food processor. I'm assuming that's Ravine. Hi, Ravine. Okay, so hot. Thank you. Pot delivery. Okay, now, since I have a pot now, excuse me guys, I'm just gonna get my potatoes going back here. This is literally the back burner here that nobody can see. Okay. What ingredients did I... Oh, you mean for tonight, Paul? Like just in general? The only thing I had to go shopping for was, let me see, what did I need to buy? I had to buy the coconut, and I had to order the Kashmiri chilies from Amazon. That's everything else I kind of had in the house here. Okay, let's see if our chilies are cool enough to handle. They go into the blender. You could also use a dedicated spice grinder for this, or kind of anything you want. But this little mini chop has really served me well over time. Again, I'm going to mute you guys. Well, not I'm going to mute you guys. I'm going to mute me. This tends to be a little bit loud. Yeah. Okay. 1 sec. Promise I'll be right back. Okay, let me show you guys where we're at, what the problem we have is, and how we are going to solve it. So we're like, I don't know if you guys can see the texture here. It's still quite chunky. Rebecca, this will be a spicy dish depending on how much gunpowder you put in the dosa. This gets sprinkled on the dosa when you're cooking it. The actual aloo is not that spicy, so this is not a particularly spicy dish unless you want it to be. I hope that answers your question. Okay, so the problem we have here is it's too chunky, and I'm not going to be able to blend this down in time. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a little bit out here and throw it in the mortar and pestle. And we're going to do it old school. I'm just going to grind it up. I mean, obviously, I don't need a ton of this for tonight. This is like a lifetime supply. I do need the blender, so that's going to go like that. A little wash. What is that, guys? I warned you to be a little chaotic tonight. Okay, so let's finish this up. I'm probably going to shake the whole... Actually, you know, Rebecca, that's a really good idea, too. I'm going to try this, and then I'm going to try your way in a second. The thing is, I'm worried... I think you guys are both right. But the chilies will have disintegrated and the dal won't, so that it's going to be, if I just put it through a strainer, it's going to be unbalanced. I think maybe. Well, we'll see here. Oh, it's not too loud for you guys. Not loud here. Okay, now we're going to go like this, take some of the larger chunks out, and really get down to it. Okay, let's try this. Wow. Peel. There we go. I need a bigger mortar and pestle. I never thought I'd say that. Okay, now I'm getting a little happy with the consistency here. can go the other stuff. Yeah, sorry about all the grinding, guys. But I think we're almost there. Okay, I'm going to call that a win for tonight. I'm going to use the finer bits, and I'll grind it up later. So obviously, like these bigger bits here, I don't particularly want, but I've got enough powder in there to work with for tonight. Okay, experiment number 1 concluded. We have our gunpowder. Let's get that chutney going. Is next. And I wanted to save some of the fried chana, so I'm not going to do that tonight. Somebody was supposed to tell me to take 2 tablespoons there. Okay. So we want a little bit of green chili. And of course, we'll just put it here. We want our coconut. Okay. I want a little bit of cilantro in here. I want a little bit of ginger. Okay, so the other thing, I'm going to use the rest of the chili in just a sec. Let's blitz this with some water. Where did the blade go for the mini chop? Okay guys, give me a sec. Never misplaced something quite that badly. Oh, there it is. Well, yeah, I kind of did. It was there. Okay. This needs a little bit of water. I'll just use this for a little more than that, probably. Okay, I'm back. I got a really nice consistency I'm very happy with. So the one thing I'm going to do with this, any questions by the way? Here we are. Oh, the cashews, I'm going, sorry about the sound guys. The cashews are going to go in the aloo, the potato aloo, for just a little extra bulk and whatever. So the next thing we have to do for the chutney is it gets a tempering on top, which is like an oil spice mix. So that's going to be a little bit of oil in a pan. Tiny bit. And I'm actually going to measure. So this is where our mustard seeds and cumin come in. Chili is going to go in. Get a little toasted chili flavor. And I want a 1/4 teaspoon of mustard. These are black mustard seeds. There is a difference. This is my cumin. And about a 1/4 teaspoon of cumin. And we're just going to cook this until the mustard seeds pop on us. Just a little tiny bit there. And again, I'm going a little bit fast because it's stream. You don't have to like race in your own kitchen. You don't have to do everything on high heat. You know, you do need to get your oil hot enough. And you do want a relatively hot oil for this, but you don't have to blast it. You do want those mustard seeds to pop though. They're almost there. It should just take like a minute or so. I really love the color. I hope you guys can see the color of that. It looks fantastic from this end. Okay, the mustard seeds, there we go. One just flew out of the pan. I want this guy. A little tiny bit longer. You don't want to burn your cumin either. Just get everything nice and toasted. There we go. Okay, mustard seeds are starting to fly everywhere. I want to keep them. And this is just like a seasoning, a topping that gets added to the chutney, and that can just cool down. Right. Okay. Put you down here for a sec. Okay. So, chutney is ready. We got our gunpowder. And I think, let me just check the potatoes, see how they're doing. Potatoes are nowhere near done. So let's bring the potatoes front and center. And we'll chat for a bit while these finish off. So the back burner I have back there is an electric burner. It's pretty anemic, weak, I guess. We wanted to talk about the batter. Who had a question about the batter? So we're going to make the aloo first, and then we're going to go after the batter. I like the texture. I think the texture here, the consistency is about where I want it, but I guess we'll find. So this batter was. It's depending on the recipe you get. The dosa batter is somewhere between 2-to-1 and 3-to-1 rice to dal. This one, as I said, is very simple. I think this is just chana dal and rice. I used basmati rice here. What consistency? It's got to be runny, Paul, like a crepe. Like, I think this is about, I'm guessing, I think this is the right consistency. It could maybe be a tiny bit thicker, but I won't know until I try and put it in the pan. But it's not like a pancake batter. You have to like spread this out into the flat pan and get it pretty thin. Okay. And I'm just gonna yell for something. Sorry, I forgot my strainer. It's the one disadvantage. I love the new place. I do, and it's amazing having like a full studio setup down here. But the disadvantage is I have to like remember to get every possible thing I need for stream. And oh, you guys all know me. My memory is not like super amazing. It's not terrible, but I don't always remember everything. So got our potatoes going. Everything else good. I'm just, I'm kind of, as much as I'm talking to you guys, I'm talking to myself to make sure that I have everything we need. You know what we can do? We can chop up these cashews. They need to be, that's hot, roughly diced. So these are just straight up plain cashews. They're not roasted. They're not salted. You would never want salted cashews in your dish because remember, you want to control the level of salt in your dish, not somebody else. I just think these will be a nice addition. And these are going to get slightly roasted in the pan anyway, so I'm not too worried about that. And we still need mustard seed for this. Oh wow, I'm forgetting things here, guys. Okay. You, there's a high-pitched whistling noise, eh? Sorry guys, I'm just catching up on the chat here. One sec. If it's dog whistle level, I won't hear it. I'm going to kill the sound for a sec. Did the sound go away when I killed the, cut the mic? Somebody can tell me in a sec. Oh, damn, guys, I don't know what you're hearing. Has it been going on the whole time? Or is it just since I have the burner on? Just what I need is a sound issue at this point. So, Sabrina, are you saying the high-pitched noise was there when the mic was off? Okay, these are almost ready. Great. Magic onion delivery. Oh, yeah, you might be hearing the stove. We'll know in just a sec when I turn the stove off. Yeah, I have a feeling it's the canister from the stove. I mean, obviously I can't hear it. My ears just aren't that good, even with regular noises. So I'm just gonna, we're just slicing up some onion here. This is gonna go in the aloo as well. Okay, our onion's ready. Yeah, steam canister would be cool. Okay, I have a feeling the potatoes are almost ready. Spear one, how lucky. Let's grab the biggest chunk and see where we're at with potatoes. Yep, potatoes are ready. Awesome. And as I said, you can let ooh, it's hot. You can let these go like a little bit past. Well, we're going to do an experiment right now. I'm going to turn this off and you guys can tell me while I drain the potatoes. So there you go. Gas canister's off. No, it's a brand new canister, Paul. So, can you guys hear it? Nah, there's tons of fuel. Somebody say, high-pitched noise still there? Is gone. Okay, sorry guys, there's not much I can do about that right now because we need the burner. I don't know, did I get that with the other burner? I don't want to kill you guys. Let me see if I can, what am I going to do here? Hang on a sec. Let's try this. Switch to Old Faithful now. It also has enough gas, good. Okay, testing for hiss. Somebody let me know. What does we mean? Is we like no hiss? Okay. Excellent. We're back on track. Got Old Faithful going. Let's get this aloo done. Where's my pan? Oh, here we are. Okay. Well, I'm glad we figured that out. Where's my? Oh, here. Okay. So this goes together pretty quick, and we're going to start with a little urad dal here. Toast that up. Not a ton. Some cumin, maybe like half a teaspoon of cumin, and like a quarter teaspoon of mustard seeds. and we're just going to toast this for like a minute or two just to get it going. Yeah, you guys are doing great. I don't know what I'd do without you. Well, actually, I do know what I'd do without you. I'd go upstairs and have a beer and watch TV. Not kidding. Again, this is just going until the best thing to stir with. I like these things, these silicone spatulas. I have a set. I've got, this is like a little spoon shape. There's a regular spatula and this little tiny guy. I quite like them. There we go. Turn this down just a bit. You guys can't see it, but the mustard seeds are popping. That tells me it's time for phase 2. Dry foods like I just toss the pan, Paul. Like, I don't actually stir them. Wooden spoon, I guess, would work. Okay. Cashews. Well, about an inch of ginger. It's about that much ginger. Oh, I want a chili in here too. Do I have any chilies left? Yeah. Okay, we're gonna speed cut a chili. Just for a little color, a little chili flavor. Again, you can use any green chili you want. This goes for a couple of minutes. Needs a little more oil. So in this particular case too, remember oil for this kind of cooking, as much as it's an ingredient, it's more of a transfer of heat medium. You need the oil. You need enough oil to conduct the heat evenly to all the bits you're cooking. But this seems to be going pretty well. Maybe even a bit high. I'm really curious to see how the dosa goes. Okay, so now our onions go in. And we're going to throw in like a hefty pinch of salt, both for seasoning to help the onions release the moisture. We are not caramelizing these onions or anything like that. We're just going to soften them. It's going to take about 5 minutes to take us to 748, I guess. Way too high. I want to add a bit of turmeric here, just a tiny pinch. There we go. Going with a 1/4 teaspoon here, ish. I'll take the heat way down now. As I said, we just want to soften these onions up. Well, Ravine, cross your fingers because I have made crepes many times. I have never made dosas, so it will be an entirely new experience for me. And I'm looking forward to it. I mean, as I said before, like sometimes on this stream I like doing things that, you know, I've done a million times. And I just want to show you guys a dish that I love to death. And sometimes I just want to, you know, like last week, sometimes I just want to experiment, which was a lot of fun too. I really enjoyed the stream last week. And then sometimes I just want to like try something out. And I think I hope this is helpful in the sense that this is me following a recipe, more or less. I mean, I kind of like created the recipe from notes that I took from different recipes and concepts and whatever. But it is still a recipe, and I am following it for the first time. So you get a sense of like how I follow recipes anyway. What did I say? I said 748, didn't I? I want this to go just a little bit longer. Everything seems to happen a lot faster on stream. And this is no exception, and I think it's just because I'm cooking over a high gas flame here. I'm going to be using all of Sadna's tips for the dozas, so we'll get there in a sec. Don't need any of this stuff. Don't need the cutting board. Right. What the hell is that? Okay, I'm pretty sure this is where I want it to be. I know it didn't go quite as long as I thought, but we are going to add our potatoes back in. We're going to throw in a bit of the coriander, or cilantro, coriander, same thing, and a little bit of water. So I'm just going to do like this. I'm going to cook this for about 5 minutes again. So this is going to 751, and I do want my potatoes to break down here. Need more water. A little bit. I want them to break down a little bit. That's too much water, and I will boil it off. So now I'm going to bust the heat up. So again, I'm learning how to make this dish. I've added now too much water here? Maybe not, but that's an easy fix. All I'm going to do is I'm going to turn up the heat. I'm just going to boil it off. So this is like sort of how to recover from something, maybe a little bit. Remember too, and we've talked about this a million times, if you start with the best ingredients, even if everything doesn't go 100% according to plan, you are going to end up with something that tastes good. And that's really important to know, I think. Yeah, that's exactly, Rebecca, that's exactly what I'm trying to do, is release some of the starch from the potatoes. I think I could have let the potatoes go in the water a bit longer. They're not quite as soft as I thought. They're definitely fork tender, but as I said, for this dish, you almost want them to, like, you know when you overdo mashed potatoes and they're all busted up and they bang in together in the boiling water? That's kind of where you want to get to. So what we're going to do then, there we go. See, now it's coming together. Again, like I said, I added too much water. So now what I'm doing is I'm adding water in to continue cooking the potatoes, because I want the potatoes a little more done. But I think I'm just going to let this simmer for a sec and we'll be good to go. I don't want the mash. Like I don't want a potato mash. I do want small pieces of potato. But I wouldn't be unhappy if a couple of these got smaller. Okay, now instead of fussing with it, which is doing nothing for me, I'm just going to let it sit for a sec. And they did say 751, so I don't need any of this. Just a little stay ahead of the cleanup maybe a bit tonight. Yep. Okay, so I don't need this anymore. I don't need any of you guys. Don't need my doll. Okay, I am going to give this a little shot of lemon and the rest of the coriander at the very end. But there we go. See, now it's, all I had to do was wait. This is the thing, like, sometimes I'm my own worst enemy in terms of being patient. Sometimes you just have to wait, you know. Potatoes are a wonderful consistency now. The whole aloo looks about the way I want it to look. It smells incredible. I think we're in good shape. It's almost for the moment of truth. Dosa time. So what's the over-under on, what's the over-under, do you think, on the number of doses it'll take me to get a good one? Okay. Just so you guys can see, this is the consistency I want. I really like this. The potatoes are about the right size. They're now finally beginning to break up into the mash that I want. This sort of semi-mash thing. Really, yeah. Third one, okay. Third time's a charm. Okay, so I'm gonna leave this off to the side. Oh, what did I say? Squirt of lemon and some coriander just on top. There we go. So just guys, you can see the finish. Oh, I'll take that out. There you go. Okay. Now, let's see how this goes. And I'm following my good friend Sadness directions here. For a little water and a wipe down to see if it's hot enough. This is going to be my ladle, my favorite ladle. Oh, you know what I don't have? Oh, a plate. Hang on, we're eating off the cutting board tonight. All right. There's my plate. This is not nearly hot enough yet. Let's see. Nope. We need that water shit needs to like beat up and boil right away. Getting there. Okay, now I feel like it might be good. Let's try it again. All right, guys. Proof is in the pudding. And this literally proofed, so let's see. Well, I'm getting some good hissing, which is what I want. I'm not going to make this one huge because this isn't a very big pan. Okay, I'm not going to mess with it too much. And I do know that one of the things I wanted to do was sprinkle a little... I have a feeling the heat's too high. Just looking at that. I wanted to add a little bit of... So one of the things they do is like a little bit of oil over top. I'm going to use some ghee here. You could probably use anything you want. I'm going to leave the gunpowder out of this one because I want to. This is the first shot. I want to see how it goes. My desk is level. And Ravine was telling me about it, and both Ravine and Seth were telling me having good color on the bottom. So we'll see. We'll see how that goes. I'm just gonna move this a little bit over here. Wow, there's so much real estate here. Okay, so I think I'm at the point where, well, it didn't stick. That's a huge plus. I'm gonna take the temperature up a bit. Is it gonna roll on me? It feels like it might be a bit thick, but let's see. So here's the question, guys. Do I put filling on this one and make it an eater, or do we try again? I have a feeling I did not have the heat up high. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna eat. Ooh, it's hot. That's for sure. Also, there's too much ghee on this one. Okay, so here's what I'm thinking. I think there's too much ghee on it, which is fine. But also, it's a bit thick. Okay, we have a consensus. Let me just turn this guy down a bit. I'm going to slide this guy off here. Okay, so let's just have a look at the other side too and roll this guy up. Okay, you guys can see. So, color-wise, we're not there. You think I should flip it, Rav? This one I'm not flipping. Yeah? I think we're too late for this one. Also, it's not done. It's not cooked. Okay, trying again. It tastes, yeah. It's too good. It's good. The taste is definitely there. But it's too thick and it's not, I didn't cook it long enough. So, try again. Okay, pan is very hot. I think we want that. So I definitely don't think the batter was too thin because I didn't get it obviously spread enough. So now we're going to go for maximum thinness. Yeah, it's funny. It cooks right up as you put it on the thing. I do want a little bit of ghee on this one. Not nearly as much this time. Just a little sprinkling. I'll spread that around. Okay. Rebecca, it doesn't. It's funny, Rebecca. It basically sets in place as soon as it hits the pan. It doesn't spread like a crepe batter. I've got to learn not to like fuss with it, mess with it. So let's just see. I looked for the tool, Rebecca. Is that you're talking about the little stainless steel cup that they used to spread it around? That's what I saw. No, I'm just going to let this guy go, and I'm going to let it go till it gets dark. It will eventually. Oh, wooden thingy. Okay, that I don't think I've seen. It's getting better. Okay. Oh, you mean the little, like the big wide broom thingy that you twirl? Getting there. Okay, I know what you mean. Okay, now we're getting color. I'm getting a little more excited. So should we make this one an eater? I also have a feeling. It's important to let your pan heat up properly. Okay, so I'm going to put some filling on this. I agree. Let me get some filling on this while it finishes, and then we'll roll it up and have a taste. Probably going to overfill it, but whatever. Apparently you don't flip them. In all of the videos and whatever I saw, they weren't flipped. They got just one side, and thanks for coming out, Paul. I'll talk to you soon. They just filled it and then turned it like this. There we go. Okay. What do you think? I think we got some color. Oh, damn, that's hot. I'm going to let this sit for a sec because I want the filling to warm back up, although the filling seems to be pretty hot. And I think what we'll do is we're going to take this one off. I'm going to start another one because I think the pan's exactly the right temperature now. And then when this is cool, I'll try it out. Oop. So there you go. I'm going to hold that up so you guys can have a look. There you go. It is crispy. Yes, it should be crispy. Somewhat crispy. All right, let's get another one in here. Oops. Yeah, it really does basically set on the pan the minute you pour it on. So I think this one actually looks good. So this pan is much hotter. Thanks, Ravine. It looks like a dosa. Well, I'm happy that it looks like a dosa because that's kind of what I was going for. So I noticed right away with this one, I think that if I wanted, that might be too high. I think if I wanted I think if I wanted a thinner crepe, I would have to thin the batter because it basically you guys can't see it, but it kind of like just sets on the pan the minute it hits. It doesn't flow like a crepe batter. Yeah, this one's dark already. Okay, so I'm gonna actually top this guy now as well. And then we'll do a taste test of both of them. I got a gunpowder one and a non-gunpowder one. Okay, how are we doing under here? Not quite. I'm gonna go a little bit darker on this one. I do like the color. I think I'm happy. I want to get into that guy while it's still warm and crispy too. So let's get this guy flipped. Really shouldn't do this with your hands. Can I give that guy 2 seconds to warm up? Make some space here. You guys can see that now. Thanks, Penny. I gotta tell you, I'm relatively pleased so far with the way things have turned out. I honestly didn't think it would go this well. So I'm pleased. Okay, so let's, what am I going to do here? I got a big mess. I kind of want to bring this front and center so you guys can see. Let me get rid of this stuff. There we go. Now, which one was which? This is the original, right? Nick, thanks for showing up. I'm going to do the taste test now. I'll make these for you sometime. And I think I can just like bust into the middle here. Tear a bit of dosa out. A little chutney. Mmm. I mean, I don't know a lot about dosas. This tastes really good. I really like the chutney. It's definitely not spicy. It's fun to eat. Yeah, it's messy, but it's nice. It's got a little interesting crunch from the dal in the aloo. Try just a bit of dosa here. The chutney's really nice. I definitely, right away, I want my other chutneys. This would be amazing if you just sat down with like 5 or 6 chutneys and could just go to town. Don't get me wrong. The coconut chutney is really nice. But, yeah, I think having something else. Okay, is it gunpowder time? I feel like it's gunpowder time. Wish me luck. I have no idea how hot this is going to be. I'm going to try without the chutney. And it's not spicy. So, I have a feeling because the gunpowder has kick. Gunpowder isn't mind-blowing hot. It's not like cayenne. I don't think I used enough. I don't think I used enough when I was making the dosa. It does add a nice kick, but yeah, it's not really it's not nearly as spicy as I thought it was going to be. It's really good. I definitely prefer it. It adds a nice dimension to it, but it's not going to blow your head off, I think. Okay, guys. Well, we've gone sort of. Well, I never have a time limit on this, but I think we're at the time where we've done a taste. I'm going to stay here for like a couple of minutes. If you guys have suggestions for next week, if there's anything you want to see, now is the time to say. Otherwise, I'm not sure what I'm going to do next week. I don't know. I do like the Indian. I feel like we haven't done Italian in a while. And I had chili. I had a really good chili chicken today, which I have made. So, did we done gnocchi? We did. I don't know. Did I do ricotta gnocchi? I know for a fact we haven't done potato gnocchi. I feel like we did ricotta, but I'm not sure. I'd have to like, if we did, it was way back in the Twitch days. The other thing I haven't done yet is agnolotti. So I would like to show you guys how to do agnolotti, I think, because it is a wonderful pasta shape and it's amazing to eat, and you can put like such fantastic fillings in it, and it's fun to make. So let me think about that. I'm leaning towards agnolotti. If I remember, I might do that next week. So, okay guys, well, thanks for coming out. Love doing this for you guys, and I appreciate everybody coming by to watch. And everybody's kind of all over the world tonight. I know Penny's down in Tampa. So I'm glad I got to spend this time with you, and I will see you next week for whatever I decide. So have a great night, everybody.